everybody, and welcome back to the Wes Miller Show, presented by the UNCG Alumni Association, this time in 2016. I'm Luke Martin alongside the coach, Wes Miller, and we hope everybody had a great new year. And, Coach, speaking of a new year, I know that's really the mindset that you and the team are taking on right now. As with Southern Conference basketball season underway, it literally is just that, a brand new year and a fresh start for you and the team.
Yeah, conference play is always the start of a new season, and it really is that, and so it collides with the new year, as you said. But we're glad we got through that stretch in December. That was a difficult one for us, and we're ready to get conference play started here.
And you mentioned that stretch in December, late December, in the Wofford game, and we'll spotlight the Wofford game here in just a moment to open Southern Conference play. But overall, you knew before that stretch you were going to learn a lot, despite whether you were going to win some of those games or the way it ended up turning out. What did ultimately you learn about your team during that 5-game trip?
Yeah, we knew it would be a difficult stretch because the opponents were going to be difficult. Those games were going to be on the road. And so I think anytime you go on the road in Division III basketball, that's a challenge. But to put that many games against that level of opponent on the road, we knew that was going to be tough for us. But we thought it would prepare us for conference play. We thought it would make us a stronger team. We thought it was a chance for us to improve. And I think it did do all those things. I think we improved a lot over the last month. You know, we talked a lot a month ago about we're trying to kind of reinvent ourselves. We're trying to kind of find our identity. I think we've been going through that process, and even though we don't like the results that we got in those games, certainly I would have liked to close out a lot of those games in the second half where we were in position to. I think our team steadily improved week after week, and we just now got to get on the other side of the win column, but we are moving in the right direction.
Let's dive into the game, which is still fresh in all of our minds, that game being the SoCon opener against the back-to-back SoCon champs and the Wofford Terriers on the road. Early on in this game, I didn't hear your pregame talk, Coach, but I have a feeling it had something to do with attacking the post. How did you feel your guys did in the opening sequence of this game, not even attempting an outside shot until 8 minutes into this contest?
Yeah, we talked a lot about getting the ball inside by dribble or by pass, and early on it was nice to get touches to R.J. White and K.L. Locke, and they had quite a bit of success. You see Demetrius Troy getting down the lane off of a ball screen there. So it wasn't just by getting it into the post, it was getting it downhill with our guard play. But we did a nice job of getting it inside and had some success there early.
Flash forward to just under 8 minutes before the media timeout, and it seemed the momentum was starting to shift towards the blue and gold. Marvin Smith jumps in front of a Wofford defender after a trap near the corner. Can't put the finishing touches, and Wofford comes right back to get a bucket in the paint while also drawing the foul. Your guys did respond, Coach, but did you feel this was one of those key sequences that got away?
Yeah, I like the defensive possession. You know, they dribble ball in the corner, and Kale does a nice job of turning that into a double team. Marvin comes up with a big-time steal. We're kind of on the attack. We come down and get 3 shots at the rim and don't make them. I don't mind that. You know, I like us being aggressive on the offensive end. You see that there. I never met a player that wanted to miss a layup, but I didn't like how we got back in transition, and that was a big momentum change. That was a clip that we showed our team yesterday in film.
And you see Francis Alonso knocking down a 3, and Demetrius Troy here on defense poking a couple balls loose to set up some offensive firepower for you and the team. What was the key in those stretches defensively for you guys that you liked?
Well, we didn't have many possessions defensively where we were taking it to them with pressure, with active hands. You know, we were really taking charge. We seemed to let them do a lot of what they wanted to do on offense throughout the game. Some of the possessions you just showed were some of the better defensive possessions throughout the game, and we got to have more possessions like that.
Then to the second half, and I am sure even though Wofford began starting to knock down some three-pointers, this is why you want to go inside, because they'll leave open a guy like Diante Baldwin for a wide-open shot. He'll make a lot of those times he gets an opportunity at it.
Yeah, it was an inside-out shot. You know, we got the ball inside, then we got it back out. We call those A shots in our program, and we want to take as many A shots as we possibly can. That was an A shot. Deontay did a nice job of knocking it down. Here's a defensive possession, Luke, that's just not good enough, you know. We got to do a better job when we break down of getting our defense set again. Really poor job in the ball screen right there.
Despite Wofford continuing to bury 3 after 3, a missed lock free throw followed by R.J. White ultimately gives you guys the lead again in this game. But it seemed like, again, no matter what you guys did to get some positive momentum, Wofford was able to drain another 3 on the very end. When you watch this again, what did you think Wofford did so well to allow them to get those open threes?
Well, they had 8 threes in the second half. You know, guarding the three-point line was a big key to the game coming in. We held them to 3 in the first half. We didn't do a good job of playing our principles, good and through screens. I mean, we're supposed to lock and trail screens on the baseline. We took a bad path. It'd be hard to win on the road when you give somebody 8 threes and you go 7 of 16 from the line.
The crowd was feeding off of those three-pointers, but you go right back to the bread and butter in K.L. Locke and R.J. White to cut the Terrier lead to 2. But that was as close as it got the rest of the way as Garcia hits his third three-pointer of the second half. But Marvin Smith drains this long ball to give the Spartans a little hope here with just over 4 minutes to pull within 6. But the Terriers close out the game thanks in large part to these two, you probably guessed them, three-pointers to eventually give themselves enough cushion in the 87-76 win. Ultimately down the stretch, Coach, what did you feel was the difference against Wofford?
I just think that it was similar to a lot of the games we've had here over the last month. A tough game on the road against a very formidable opponent. I mean, Wofford's a program that's won the Southern Conference the last 2 years and played in the NCAA tournament. And when the game got close down the stretch, and they've all been close here down the stretch in the last 5 or 6 minutes, they made more game-winning plays than we did, especially on the defensive end, and that's what we talked about with our guys in film yesterday is we got to be a team that starts making game-winning plays on the defensive end. We make plenty of game-winning plays on the offensive end, and I think we'll just keep making more and more the more comfortable we get with each other. But we got to make more game-winning plays on the defensive end and buckle down and get stops when the game's on the line. And Wofford did that, and we did.
And you just talked about it, Coach, about you guys can play with anybody. You've been in basically every game you played. Even the Carolina game, you guys were able to make it an 11-point game with late in the second half with about 9 minutes to go. How do you keep the confidence of this team? Because you always talk about, hey, these guys still come to work every day. They still fight. They're not giving up. They're going to continue to give everything they have. For you, how do you keep that positive momentum going and ultimately lead into trying to finish off what you guys have been able to start really well, playing good for about 35 minutes?
Well, it's what you said. It's there's got to be that consistency with your approach each and every day to get better. You just said it too, Luke. I mean, we're so close. We're right there at the end of the game, and we've been right there at the end of the game, whether it's been an opponent like NC State or Wake Forest. And I watched Wake Forest last night go to the wire with Louisville, who's a top 10 team in the country at Louisville, and we're right there in Winston-Salem with them down the stretch. We're in a 1-point game with a minute and a half left at NC State. We've been in a tie game in the last 4 minutes at Elon. We're in a tie game here in the final 8 minutes against Wofford on the road. So we're right there. How do you get over the top? And it's by being consistent with your approach every day, coming in to get better every day. I think this team and the guys that are on this team, they'll keep doing that. And I really believe that if you keep doing that and you stay committed to the process, that the right things are going to happen. And I do think we're pretty darn close, but we got to continue to buckle down and work.
I know you talked really highly about Diante Baldwin, and he joins the show right after this short break.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. To sell your home on time for the most money, you need a sharp agent with a marketing strategy that creates the most demand. Bottom line, you need a partner willing to put their own money on the line for you. In Greensboro and Winston-Salem, it would be Jason Bramblett. He attracts hundreds of buyers and creates so much demand that Jason can guarantee if your home doesn't sell at a price and deadline you agree to, he will buy it. Partner with the agent I trust. Go online or call and get your home sold.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wes Miller Show, presented by the UNCG Alumni Association. And heading into the break, we told you we'd be joined by him, the man they call DB in the locker room. That's, of course, Diante Baldwin. And Diante, it's great to have you on the show. How's everything going for you? I know right now you kind of get the focus pretty much on basketball as classes are still out of session.
It's going good. Just trying to work hard and get some wins.
I know for you guys, you mentioned about trying to get wins, and talked to Coach Miller early on in the show about how close you guys are to getting to that point. For you, what did you kind of learn about your team, maybe yourself as well, over the past 5 games against really good competition, and especially just most recently going against a 2-time defending champion of this league in Wofford?
We learned that we can do it, like we can win the games, but we have to put a full game together. We play real well in segments. We got to learn how to put a full 40-minute game together.
You talked about putting a full 40-minute game together. What are some of the things that you feel that are separating you guys from, okay, we're playing good maybe for 35 minutes, but what's the difference from being close to finally finishing the deal?
Just got to lock in on the defensive end. Our offense is not struggling at all. We just got to lock in and get stops on defense. Just stay together. It's going to be a long conference time. You know, we just got to stay together and play as hard as we can for as long as we can.
I mentioned for you this year, it has been a great year for you so far, and I know you'd like to get more wins on the schedule, but we know those are going to come here in the coming weeks. But for you, what's been clicking for you this year? What do you think has been the biggest difference from maybe Diante in the past to this year? What's been the biggest improvement?
Well, my role is a lot bigger, so I have to step up, and all the off-season work that I put in has came into play, and not starting the year off with an injury like last year is helping a lot.
How would you describe your personality as a basketball player? You know, Coach Miller has told me time and time again, he's like, look, Luke, if our guys resemble the mentality and the effort of Diante Baldwin, we're going to be the toughest son of a guns in the Southern Conference. Where do you get that tough-minded mentality of where you play your style of basketball?
It's just the way I grew up. I had older brothers, and I had an older cousin that would just beat me every day. Every day I just get beat in basketball or beat up or something, just beat. So I just had to keep fighting and keep fighting. So that's why I just take that way in everything I do. It helped me a lot. It helped me a lot. That really helped me with my mind stay and everything, just keeping an easy mind and not stressing about too much, just knowing you just continue to fight, it all work out.
Now, this season, you know, every season is always a grind, especially in Southern Conference play when you're going to see teams multiple times throughout the year. This is a Furman team that last year you guys had a lot of success against, especially at home in the Coliseum. But how important is just that game against Furman Tuesday night to finally put being close out of your vocabulary and finally saying the word finished? We finished the job. How important is Tuesday night to finally get that done?
Really important. It's really important that we get the job done and finish a full 40-minute game and put it together, just to show the freshmen and the younger people that if we really do that, we'll win and success will be more. We'll have more success.
It should be a lot of fun if the Spartans find themselves there. It's going to be because of Diante Baldwin and the rest of this bunch. Be sure to come out and support them Tuesday night against the Furman Paladins. Diante, we appreciate the time as always, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Once again, that was Diante Baldwin. And coming up next, we had to bring this segment back on the show because of how popular it was the first time around. It's the second installment of Who Tweeted That?
Bringing your dog to fireworks. That will not win you the high IQ award. Oh, man. I feel like it was either Jordy or RJ. Who has a dog on the team?
That's definitely Coach Roberts.
I don't think Coach Roberts tweets "It's a beautiful day in the borough." That's all he tweets.
When you on the sideline waiting and you see her tweeting about her relationship problems, smiley face, smiley face, smiley face, smiley face, smiley face. It's definitely not a coach. I gotta get this right. I haven't gotten it right.
Mike.
Who's on my team? Let's go. Demetrius? I don't know. Let's go Taki, maybe? Diante. I thought Diante at first.
So excited because my penguin emoji is coming tomorrow. Heh, love you, baby. Clay. Francis? Was it Fran? Nailed it.
From Spain? They have penguins in Spain? Okay.
Oh, man. Man, I love Cracker Barrel. And the response was, me too, let's go get some. And that was obvious to me. I remember that.
Natalie Emmanuel, a.k.a. Ramsey from Furious 7, is heart emoji. Jordy?
KL.
I'm so bad at this.
Okay, Coach, seriously, isn't it nice to finally be talking about a home game, regardless of who it's against? Isn't it great to be back in Greensboro and not just for a few days and have to hit the road for a game?
No question. It'll be great to be in the Greensboro Coliseum, to be in Greensboro, and most importantly, to be in front of our fans and have some people cheering for us. It's we've been in a lot of tough road environments and a lot of people cheering against us, and I won't lie, I do like that. I do like the us against the world type of thing on the road, but it'll be really nice to be in a comfortable place in the Greensboro Coliseum with people on our side.
And it's going to be against a great opponent, against the Furman Paladins coming in. As you look at this team, what stands out about Furman? You look at their defensive numbers; they're really high in the league. I think they're third in the league in defensive scoring. What makes them so good defensively, and would you say that is the biggest strength of their team?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they're really pressuring more, and they have great guard play and great athleticism on the perimeter, but they're forcing turnovers as good as any. I think number one in the league right now in forcing turnovers, and I think if you'd have looked at them last year, the year before, and said they're going to lead the league in forcing turnovers a couple years from now, you go, really? I don't expect that to happen, but they're really forcing a ton of turnovers, one of the top teams in the country at doing so. So their pressure is surprising to me. And Nico's done a great job. They have a lot of depth on the perimeter. They have a lot of depth now in the post. They are a really darn good basketball team, and coming off a big win against VMI a couple nights ago at home.
You mentioned last year and the difference they made with that pressure. Is there much you can take from the success you had against them last year at home to this year?
Well, I think the old guys always kind of revert back to the experiences they've had, and hope that gives them a little confidence to know they can have some success. But this is a team, Furman, that was struggling down the stretch last year, makes a big run in the conference tournament to go to the conference championship game and hasn't looked back since. So I don't think you can say it's the same team that you played against. Even though it was the end of the regular season, they've made that run in the conference tournament, and that's given their program a lot of confidence, and I think they've kind of run with that. And this is going to be a great opponent, and we have to come in and play a great game.
Coach, I don't want to look too much ahead because of Tuesday night is a very important game for you and the staff and this team. But quickly on ETSU, what stands out about them? It seems like they've had a lot of transfers that have come into the program and made an impact this year. For you, when you watch a little bit on them film, I know we're focusing on Furman first, but previewing the weekend matchup, what stands out about the Buccaneers?
Yeah, I didn't even know we play ETSU next after Furman. I mean, as coaches, we always lock into the next one. No, I know we go to Johnson City this weekend. I haven't had a lot of time to look at ETSU. I've been really focused on Furman since we finished the Wofford game. I do know they have a tremendous amount of athleticism. They're going to do a great job recruiting. They're going to bring in guys that are going to look unbelievable in warm-ups because they're going to be long, they're going to be tall, they're going to be athletic, and they're not just going to be guys that look good in warm-ups. When they get out there on the floor, they're going to be guys that can make plays, and they'll do a great job coaching them up. So it's going to be a game of athleticism, of talent. I think they'll have high energy, but I haven't had a chance to watch a lot of film yet, and I'll dive into that after we play Furman on Tuesday night.
I know, back to the game Tuesday night, Coach, my final question to you is, every game is important, especially in conference play, but knowing how close, it seems like we've mentioned the word close a lot in the show today, but knowing how close your guys have been, how big is Tuesday night to have a chance to close the deal, to have a game against another really quality opponent, to finally close it out and learn how to close out a game?
Yeah, I mean, I just think the most important game is the one in front of you, and the next one, and like you said, conference play, they all matter. There's no game that doesn't matter. They are all that important. And since Tuesday night's the next one, that's the most important one to us, Luke. And I told our guys in the locker room, I know we're going to figure it out. I know we're going to get on the other side of it. I just hope we don't have to wait too long, and Tuesday night's an opportunity for us to do that.
Well, January 5th, I'm sure there's nothing better than anybody should do than come out to the Greensboro Coliseum. Coach wants to see you. I want to see you, but more importantly, the players want to see you out and support the Spartans Tuesday night. It should be a lot of fun at the Greensboro Coliseum. Coach, it's always great to catch up with you, and good luck this week, and let's get some wins.
Happy New Year. Thanks, Luke.
Once again, that was the Coach Wes Miller. For everybody in Spartan Athletics, I am Luke Martin. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks.